Mornings at
Oh, they did.
8:40, Fox Sports Radio.
Fox Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Huddle on 840 Fox Sports Radio. The Huddle brought to you by 956sports.com. Served up by our peeps at Mickey D's McDonald's. How many chicken nuggets is it when you get like 2 Cokes and 2 fries? 20 nuggets? I just asked if I could have the 2 Cokes. Could you just make that one jumbo one?
You know they don't do it anymore? The kid parties at McDonald's. When I was a kid, I remember they had kid parties.
I never did a kid party, but they had the play parks.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's because back in the day when we were kids, McDonald's was like the only place to do that kind of thing at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now they got all the other
So much
pizza
competition.
places, and that was the thing, and like Ronald would come and everything, right, at your little your little party.
I remember Ronald was like, if you were Ronald McDonald, that was top secret identity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was a former professor of mine that he was Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
And, like, he wouldn't show up to class one day, and you were like, why do we have a substitute? And they were like, he had an appearance.
Oh.
And it was like, he had an appearance as what? Then you, as a freshman, you don't know this stuff. But then when you get to his class, he's like, okay, I have a side job. I'm Ronald McDonald. What?
How come you always smell like fries, teacher?
Hey, here's a great way to save 20% on your insurance. Simply drop the name.
Spencer Gantt.
Coach Gantt joining us here in the Huddle on 840 Fox Sports Radio. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How are you?
Just like McDonald's, I'm loving it. My wife and kids are out of town, went to see the grandparents, so I'm here all by myself. No yelling, no screaming, no crying, and that's just from my wife.
So what time do we need to show up with the fajitas, and will you have the pit ready? Is that a charcoal or a propane pit that we're working on today?
Well, let me tell you something. We got both in this backyard, and both of them work equally well. And hey, let me throw this out there. Tony, I don't mind if you want to come over there. That's fine, but you can tell your boy Jake. All right, Jake, you listening?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Jake, we didn't have any damage out here on South Padre Island. I don't need you to come to my house and help me clean up. You've called me like 4 times wanting to come help out. I appreciate it. My house doesn't need painting. My roof is good.
I'm there for you.
That's borderline stalking, friend.
No, Jake crosses the stalking. It's not borderline. It's beyond stalking.
How you guys doing, man?
Doing well. How are things at San Benito?
Things are great. The past couple months, crazy hectic. Every sport and on demand's going on at once, and just trying to coordinate all that stuff and keep it in line and keep it running. But we're doing real well, and football's going real well, so we're excited.
I guess it's a good thing that when it's football season, that's all it is football season. And then after that, you kick in with the soccer, boys and girls, basketball, boys and girls. You got the baseball as well. It's football and volleyball right around that one time, right?
Football, volleyball, and cross country, yeah, and they're generally a little bit easier to manage when there's only 3 of them. But now, when you crank them all up at the same time, and of course we have every sport and on demand except for swimming, it gets pretty hectic.
When are we getting swimming at San Benito, by the way?
Well, it could be sooner than we think because that's already been proposed. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. Coach, did you see the new Nike uniforms that came out?
I did.
What are your thoughts?
Cool.
What are your thoughts on those?
I saw some good stuff. I liked what Seattle was doing with it, and then at the same time, I like the guys who are like Green Bay, who are just staying with the original. I don't want you to mess with it. Just put your swoosh on there. I like that too.
It was funny because there was so much anticipation and what's going to be different. And, when I looked on and I saw the Troy Polamalu Steelers uniform, it was like they added the swoosh.
That's right.
Okay, so instead of having the little Reebok shield, it now has the swoosh on it. What's the big difference about that stuff, though?
Well, as far as the uniform, the Nike uniform that they've come out with is phenomenal, and I just think that the material itself and what they're doing with their technology is pretty awesome. But the you don't want to change the look of the Steelers and the Packers and stuff like that. So
I would just do the losing teams like the Cowboys. Just come up with something. Cowboys, Bengals, Browns. Those teams that can never make the playoffs. I would mess with those uniforms.
Yeah, fancy them up big time.
Throw a couple rhinestones, not just stars on them.
That is so wrong.
Bedazzle them a little bit.
Make them denim material.
Yeah, bedazzle them. I like that.
When do we see San Benito's alternate jersey there, Coach? When are we going to see that a different look for the Greyhounds?
Tony, we're not going to see that until the week of the Battle of the Arroyo. It will be unveiled that week, and nobody's going to see it until that week. I could show it to you, but I'd have to kill you. So.
And just the way alone you said it, I'm a little scared about that.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was going to invite Jake over and show it to him.
Well, Jake was going to go over on his own. You don't have to invite him.
Coach, I'm on my phone. I'm at your window.
There's a little sand in the crack. We may need to dust that out.
I know that's not possible because I put a picture of Jake up at the guard shack, and they know what to watch for.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the love and the time, and as always, have fun out on the island, and good luck with all the tourists there this weekend.
I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good time.
You too. Coach Spencer Gantt. Look, I just saved 20% of my insurance by dropping that name right there. Joining us here at the Huddle on 840 Fox Sports Radio. It was funny. Last week we made fun of Rick Miller because when we had head coach Skyler Anderson of the Magic on, normally when we have a guest on, Rick just hits a button and that's it. The guest goes away. We pointed it out last week. We said, Miller, how come you're chatting up Coach Anderson here? And now today, every guest that we've had has gotten the please hold after the interview, and Rick picks up the phone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's like, what? Where did this come from?
Actually, Spencer had already hung up, though, Coach Gantt.
He beat me to it.
But actually, I had done that the whole time. You guys just didn't pay attention. You just thought I only did it for Coach Anderson.